Ethan Cole didn't flinch. He was already half-turned when the sound came, instincts older than regret dragging his hand to the revolver at his hip. Dust jumped near his boot, the bullet missing him by less than a breath. He looked up slowly, eyes narrowing against the harsh Arizona sun, and that was when he saw her. She was running, barefoot, hair loose and black as midnight, a thin streak of blood cutting down her arm. An Apache girl no more than 17, sprinting across open ground where only death was meant to walk. Behind her, 3 men on horses thundered closer, rifles slung low, laughter sharp and cruel as barbed wire. Ethan swore under his breath. This land didn't forgive men who got involved. He could turn away, keep riding, pretend he hadn't seen a thing. That's what smart men did out here. That's how you stayed alive. Instead, he stepped into the open. "Turn back," he shouted, voice dry but steady. "Last warning." The men reined in hard. One of them spat and grinned. "Look at this," he said. A hero. They never saw the second shot coming. When the smoke cleared, 2 men were dead, one screaming on the ground with a shattered leg, and the girl had stopped running. She stared at Ethan like he was something half real, half ghost. He holstered his gun slowly. "You hurt?" he asked. She shook her head once, eyes wide, dark, and burning with something that wasn't fear. That was the moment Ethan Cole sealed his fate. Because saving an Apache girl in 1871 Arizona wasn't mercy. It was a death sentence that just took its time. They rode until the sun bled red into the horizon. Ethan kept his distance, letting her set the pace, watching the land more than her. The desert had a way of remembering things, footprints, gunshots, kindness. "What's your name?" he asked eventually. She hesitated, then spoke softly. "Ayanna." He nodded. "I'm Ethan." She studied him for a long moment. "Why did you help me?" Ethan didn't answer straight away. He hadn't answered that question truthfully in years. "Because leaving you would have been worse," he said at last. That much was true. They reached a narrow canyon where the rocks rose like broken teeth. Ethan knew this place too well. He dismounted, checked the ground, then cursed quietly. "They'll track us," he said. Those men weren't alone. Ayanna's jaw tightened. "They are slavers." Ethan's hand clenched. He'd heard rumors. Men selling Apache girls south of the border. Good money. No consequences, and unless you crossed the wrong tribe, or the wrong ghosts. "We'll head north," he said. "There's an old trading post near Dry Creek, might buy us time." She nodded, trusting him without reason. That trust burned worse than any wound. By morning, the canyon echoed with hoofbeats. Ethan counted at least 8 riders, maybe more. He loaded his rifle, mind sharp, heart heavy. He could fight. He could kill, but not forever. Ayanna touched his arm. "You should leave." He looked at her. Really looked. Dirt-streaked face. Fierce eyes, a child forced into a world that fed on pain. "If I leave," he said, "they'll take you. And if you stay," she replied, "they will kill you." Ethan smiled faintly. "I've been dead before." He took position behind a boulder as bullets screamed through the air. The fight was brutal, fast, ugly. 2 men fell. Then 3. Blood soaked into the sand like it belonged there. But numbers don't care about courage. A rifle butt caught Ethan across the skull. He hit the ground hard, vision exploding white. When he came to, his hands were tied, blood running into his eyes. Ayanna was on her knees beside him, a knife pressed to her throat. The man holding it leaned close. "You should have kept riding, cowboy." Ethan met his gaze and laughed, a broken, bloody sound. "Yeah," he said. "I hear that a lot." The knife didn't fall. An arrow did. It punched through the man's neck with a wet crack. Then another. And another. Apache warriors poured from the rocks like the desert itself had risen to kill. In minutes it was over. Ethan lay there breathing, stunned, alive. Ayanna stood, eyes fierce, no longer running. "You saved me," she said quietly. "Now my people will decide what to do with you." Ethan closed his eyes. That price, he knew, would be worse than death. Ethan woke to shade instead of sunlight. Canvas shadowed his face. The smell of fire and leather hung heavy in the air. When he opened his eyes properly, he saw wooden ground beneath him, animal hides, and faces, and dozens of them, watching without a word. Apache. His hands were still bound, though the blood had been cleaned from his face and a rough bandage wrapped his head. The pain was there, steady and deep, but he was alive. That was the most dangerous thing of all. They stood in a wide circle, men, women, children, silent, sharp-eyed, unreadable. No hatred, no mercy. only judgment. And among them, standing straight and unafraid, was Ayanna. She no longer looked like a girl who had been running for her life. Her hair was braided now, her shoulders squared, her gaze hard as flint. She belonged here. The desert had returned her to herself. An old man stepped forward. His face was lined like cracked earth, his eyes carrying the weight of many winters. "Why is this man alive?" he asked. Ayanna answered in Apache. Her voice was calm, certain.
"He saved my life."
The elder looked down at Ethan. "And he killed men who hunted our people." Ethan swallowed. "If speaking now is a mistake," he said quietly, "tell me." No one smiled. The elder raised a hand. "You may speak. But understand this, every word adds weight to your life or takes it away." Ethan drew a slow breath. "Those men were slavers. They meant to sell her. I've seen it before." A ripple passed through the circle. Subtle but real. "Why help her?" the elder asked. "White men rarely act without profit." Ethan's eyes dropped to the ground. A memory rose unbidden, another girl. Years ago. Crying out where no one came in time. "Because some things follow you," he said. "No matter how far you ride." The elder studied him for a long moment, then turned to Ayanna. "This man lives because of you," he said. "If we kill him, your honor is stained. If we release him, we appear weak." Ethan closed his eyes. "So," the elder continued, "he will not be our guest. He will be our burden." The ropes were cut, but freedom was not given. The days that followed were harder than chains. Ethan worked from dawn to dark, lifting heavy loads, tending horses, chopping wood until his hands split and bled. No one spoke to him, but no one stopped watching him either. He was a prisoner without walls. Ayanna passed him often. She never stopped. Never spoke. But when their eyes met, there was no regret there. Only responsibility. One night, as the fire burned low, Ethan finally asked, "Why did you tell them they should kill me?" She stared into the flames. "Because this land demands payment." "I saved your life," he said. "You changed it," she replied. "That costs more." Sleep did not come easily after that. Ethan knew he couldn't stay. When the white men learned he was here, they wouldn't come with words. They never did, and the Apache understood something the soldiers never would. White men never came alone. 3 days later, the scouts returned at a run. "Soldiers," they said, "from the north." Ethan felt his stomach sink. The camp moved with grim efficiency. Women and children withdrew. The warriors armed themselves. The air tightened, sharp as a drawn blade. Then they saw it. A white flag. One man rode forward. His uniform was clean. His posture relaxed. His eyes cold. "We're here to talk," he called. "We know the man you're sheltering." Ethan stepped forward, but 2 warriors held him back. The officer smiled. "Ethan Cole, you've always had a talent for choosing the wrong side." Ethan recognized him instantly. Captain Harris, the same man who had burned an Apache village years earlier, then lied and called it an accident. For the first time, Ayanna saw something new in Ethan's face. Fear. Harris continued calmly, "You're coming with us. And if you refuse, this camp will be ash by morning." The elder stepped forward. "This man does not belong to us." Harris shrugged. "But he can die because of you." Silence fell like a hammer. Ethan moved. "I'll go." Ayanna turned to him sharply. "You know what that means." He gave a faint smile. "It means you live." Harris tossed a rope at his feet. And in that moment, Ayanna made her choice. That night, while the soldiers drank and laughed and trusted the dark too much, Ayanna slipped to where Ethan was tied. She cut the rope clean. "You can't go," she whispered. "If I don't," Ethan replied softly, "they'll kill everyone here." "They'll kill us anyway," she said. "White men don't keep promises." Ethan looked at her. "Your life is worth more than their lies." Her eyes shone, but no tears fell. "You saved me," she said. "Now I save you." A horse snorted in the distance. Harris was already suspicious. Ethan looked back at the camp, the fires, the people, the land that had spared him and now demanded its due. "Whatever happens," he said, "know I didn't choose this with regret." Ayanna took his hand. "Then you chose the ending of the wrong kind of story." They disappeared into the darkness together, knowing full well that the price waiting for them would not be simple death. It would be worse.